Hi guys, welcome everybody to tonight's team building with Nick Couch. I'm coming to you live from San Diego. I'm on the complete opposite coast that I normally am on. And I'm super excited to bring on this topic because Fireside Chats is one of the things we started doing probably, 8 months ago. And what it was we were getting on every week. We were doing team trainings and we were doing all these things where I was the talking head. I was the one talking every week. And it's almost like your children. They'll listen to somebody else better than they'll listen to you because they always hear from you. If the group of people that I'm working with day in and day out, if they hear from me every single week on a training topic, it kind of gets old. It becomes like background noise. They're not even taking the information in. So I had this epiphany probably I'm guessing it's about 8 months ago. We kicked off a Fireside Chat is what we call it. It's just a name. You can call it whatever you want, but it's where we all get together. So the entire group of people that I'm mentoring, coaching, working with, leading, we get on once a week via Zoom. If there's a local team that's in the area or wherever we're at, we try and do those in person too. Like we were at the one event and it was on a Sunday, so we did the Fireside Chat in person. We were at a bunch of people were in town near my house. We did the Fireside Chat in person. It's just a generic name where everybody's sitting around basically like a campfire, just collaborating. And if you can do that every single week, collaborate with your team, stop being a talking head, start leveraging what other people are doing, because not everybody's going to relate to Nick Couch. Like I'm looking at the screen right now. We have Jess Nouse. So Jess is a female. I'm a male. I was an electrician. Jess is a banker. Jess is a mom of 2 boys. I'm a dad of 2 boys and a girl. Like it's nice to let other people in the team hear from somebody else where they've come from, things they're working on. Like a lot of people might look up to Jess and say, oh, Jess is so good at this, but they don't realize Jess is having a struggle, maybe cold contacting or something like that. So we talk about things that are going good, things that are not so smooth, or maybe they hit a little speed bump or something's happening, their website crashed, whatever. It's allowing everybody on the team to just open, chat, collaborate. And I just came back from LCD in Louisville, Kentucky last week. One of the most powerful things I wrote down in my notes, most of you probably know I'm not a note taker, and I came home with 12 pages of notes. It was an amazing event. It came from Kendra McMurphy, I believe, so we'll give her a shout out if she tunes in on the replay. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And after I heard that, I started looking up other things similar to that saying because I liked it so much. And another way you could say it is, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. I really like those. And this kind of ties into exactly what's happening. I already see some of you on camera are in New York City, or some of you are packing for New York City. No names. But that's exactly what's going to happen this weekend in New York City on the Better Trip. So I'm super stoked for the people that I see that are already there, the people that are going. And unfortunately, some of us aren't going to make it. But that is going to be basically one entire weekend of fireside collaboration. It's where a new rank 1 is going to get to collaborate with a rank 7, or maybe somebody on here or in your group of people, they're going to know somebody from a Zoom training. They're going to finally get to meet them in person. Like some of my best moments in my time with Pruvit in 3 years have been collaborating with somebody that isn't even in my network or group or anything. Just hearing some of the things they're going through. Josh Nelson and I, we collectively collaborated really well. Josh used to be an electrician. I used to be an electrician. We come from the same background. Like if Brian would have never introduced me to Josh, it could have shifted something. So it's always cool to get as many people on just a collaborative platform, whether it's in person at a coffee shop, going to a Better Trip with the company. I just got a notification. Something, Brian, what's this? Somebody logged in from another device. Messenger is now inactive.
I don't know. That happens all the time.
Yeah. I just want to.
Sorry about it. Can you all still hear Nick? Can you still hear?
Everybody hear me good?
Beautiful.
Okay. But getting around other people that are, we're all driving the same direction in the same vehicle. Some people's vehicles are going a little faster than others, but it's cool when you can bring that collaborative environment together. And then whenever you're working with your group in that environment, you get to hear people's language, their thought process. Are they speaking positively? Are they speaking negatively? Is their self-talk good? So you as the mentor and the coach, this is a time where, this also comes from LCD, we have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk. So you as maybe the mentor, the coach, the leader of your collaborative environment, it allows you to sit back and take it all in. And you get to assess things that are happening in your team and who maybe needs to get improvement in this area, who needs improvement, like where you can dig and dive in and do other forms of coaching, which you would learn at LCD too. A lot of this ties back to LCD. Just coming out of that event was mind-blowing, but this isn't to talk about LCD. It's just a lot of these points come from what I just learned. And the Fireside collaboration, or however you want to call it, is very, very powerful tool. I've seen a lot of shifts and changes in the people that show up every week. So I'd like to give a shout out to Jess. I don't think she's ever missed one of our Sunday night Fireside chats. Bobby Miller up there in the top, she's on every Fireside. Bobby shows up to everything. She just shows up and she just keeps showing up and she's not stopping. But it's so cool to see the shifts in their thought process and what they're doing because they listen to somebody else. So don't try and do it all yourself. Leverage your group of people to help you collaborate. I promise you that will be huge. And I'm excited to hear where you guys take this from here, who starts doing more of this and how it goes for you. But since I'm standing here, I have my lovely wife, Kelly, standing over there admiring the sunset. Would you like to drop anything on our Fireside chat? And Brian also, we can wrap this up. We're on the home stretch. We'll open up for a couple questions at the end.
So how we doing, everybody? So here's the first thing that I would recognize, and that is just being efficient and effective with your time. Let me ask you this. In the 2 weeks that we have been utilizing this daily system of training, accountability, what have you, have any of you got anything good out of this? Anything that you can use, anything that you've been able to apply, anything that's been able to benefit you, right? So my question is, if that's the case, why is it still just you that's on here? Meaning, if it's creating value in your own life, are you taking the time to pass that value on to individuals that you care about, individuals that you're working with? Here's what that means. Have you taken, and that doesn't matter. If you just have one other promoter, just one. If you don't have a promoter yet, that's okay. You first have to be part of a team before you can have a team. It's just, I mean, you know, it's kind of like, I remember when I was growing up as a kid, I would go out in the summertime and gosh, I wanted to play basketball, right? And literally what I would do is I picked a time that I'd have my mom drop me off at the park and I would just go at that same time every single day. I literally remember for the first couple of times, it was just me out there shooting hoops by myself. And after a little while, somebody else would start to show up and I'd say, hey, and he's like, dude, I usually come at a different time, but are you here every day? Yeah, I'm here every day. And literally it was him and I playing one-on-one for like a week or two. And then before you know it, other guys that would come to the park, they would see, before you know it, we literally had, 5-on-5. And then there were guys eventually just waiting to get in and to play. We had to play multiple games, like the winner would stay on, what have you. But literally, I was first, like there, just waiting and playing and practicing until someone else came along. And then before you know it, it was an entire team of people. And before you know it, it wasn't just a team of people, but there were so many other people. It was like now everybody wanted to play. Before, in the beginning, I was like, my God, I just wish I had one person to play with. Point being is that, are you taking the time? How many of you, and this would be the call to action, right? This is a team building Zoom. The whole concept for Thursday night or the Thursday's topic is focused on what? Go back and look at the picture. What is it? It's team building, right? It's team building. You're trying to learn how to efficiently and effectively build a team. So my question is number one is this: how many of you have taken the time with your team to sit down with them and literally talk about the value of plugging into the system, plugging in on a daily basis, creating accountability, understanding that this is truly leveraging a team and leveraging a system? This is real-time compounding. What do I mean by that? Well, you have to make a decision right now. I said this at the beginning of the call. Do you want to take the same information that you learned here and now and go take it to the 10 promoters on your team? In my opinion, that's an inefficient and very ineffective way to grow your team. Why not have all of your team jump on here? Now they don't have to hear from you, because, by the way, they hear from you all the time. Now they get a chance to hear it from a different perspective, right? A little bit of a different insight. We're leveraging each other. So my challenge to you is this, is taking the time to get your team together and help them understand how important it is for them to use the schedule that's put in place as a touch point for accountability, for learning, for creating awareness, for leveraging a system for time compounding, right? To eventually allow their own personal evolution. You guys realize that in 6 months from now, many of you that are on here right now are going to be applying what you're learning. You're going to start creating your own awareness. You're going to start getting great results. And now we're going to have you come on and share those things that you're doing and the awarenesses that you're having in order to teach somebody else and to help somebody else. And now you're going to learn now the next level, which is learning how to grow and how to develop as a leader, right? It's an evolution. It takes time. I remember when I first started these. So just so you know, this is what I did to go from 0 to over 6 million in volume in a period of a little over a year. This is literally why, because it was helping other individuals and giving them a platform to grow from. And here's what's so cool. Now Abigail does her own, right? Katie and Kendra and all of these, they've built their own. Why? Because we've gone through a C1, C2, true, C3 phase of coaching. That's what we're trying to do here. It takes time, but do yourself a favor and leverage the system. Just like we talk about building a team, it's the same thing as the ketone conversation. Stop trying to be the message and be the messenger. Those that build the biggest teams, they apply the same thing that they do with the ketone conversation to their teams. Yeah, I was reading in a book, it's the book Good to Great, and it talks about, it says, there's nowhere in life that you can't go and there's nothing you can't accomplish as long as you're willing to allow someone else to get the credit. You know, my goal is to get as many people possible on here learning from Nick, learning from Josh, learning from Sylvia, learning from Kevin, because here's what's cool. I can bring them into an environment where they can hear from other people's, successes, other people's backgrounds, other people's, connection points. It was so cool. I was just going through the thing, like, we all have a way that we can connect with other people. It's about leveraging, I get it. Not all of you relate to Nick. Not all of you relate to me. But the point is that, people right now that would relate really well to Nick. Like, stop being the one that wants to give them the information and just connect them on here so that they can connect with Nick, so that they can look at Nick and say, oh my God, if that dude can do it, I can do it. Or, wow, I really relate to his style or the way he talks or his background or whatever. Why? Because it creates belief. Everything rises and falls on belief. Belief is phase 1, relationship is phase 2, and leadership is phase 3. Those are 3 things that absolutely will determine what you do here and how successful that you are here. Number 1 is belief. It all starts with belief. Number 2 is the relationships that you create by truly helping people get what they want, and in return you get what you want. And lastly is leadership. Something to not be afraid of, something that eventually, if you want your achievement, as long as you want to take responsibility, will 100% lead to you becoming a leader. Some people say, I don't want to be a leader. You are a leader right now. You lead somebody. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your significant other. Maybe it's your, the individuals at work. Maybe it's individuals at church. Maybe I don't know what it is. But right now, I promise you, you all lead somebody. Okay? Even if it's your dog, right? They need you. They need you to lead them. Sometimes you're on a leash and they're leading you, but hey, they still need you at the end of the day. They can't feed themselves, right? So where are we at time-wise?
6:16.
Okay, so that's my call to action for you, is to get with your one promoter if you only have one, get with your entire team if that's the case, and promote to them the value of the system. It is a system. It's a touch point every day. It's accountability. It works both ways. Makes Nick more accountable. Why? Because he had to think and put thought into this, because number one, he's not just talking to his own team. He's actually now has an audience of more individuals that are just tied to him financially. So therefore, he wants to make sure he's delivering the best message and the best training and the best insight possible, right? One thing that I want to make sure we're doing more of too is right now, if you have somebody that's on this Zoom, use this chat. Use this chat. I want you guys to shout out and give, attaboys and recognition to people that deserve it. If you've got people that are doing great things, highlight them in this chat. Gives us a chance to highlight them too. Gives us a chance to learn who they are, to potentially, want to invest more of our time or our resources into those people. So make sure that you're also using this time to recognize people that deserve it from their action or their results or their attitude, all things that I definitely want to know. And then, your call to action is to help people understand if they use this for accountability, all the things that I went through. I'm not going to say it again, but they have to get it from you. They have to understand the value and the importance of it. And you have to do a good job of relaying that. So, cool. See that? You guys are talking good about each other already. Amazing.
And look at all those people. Bobby, Missy, Aiden are in New York City already. Pam and Keith, if you're not there yet, you're going to be there very soon. Jess is packing her bags to get there. Who else is going to New York City for the better trip?
And I'm not going to lie, I got a little bit of FOMO, but it's a little too far. I don't know where Jen's at, but my baby's about to come, so it's a little too far, but I know y'all are going to have fun. It's going to be awesome. Definitely leverage that trip. Take lots of pictures. And make sure that you're talking to your team during the process. Let them know you wish they were there with you.
Grab some cheap 60-cent postcards from a store in New York City and put a stamp on it and mail your teammates that couldn't make it or didn't make it.
Great.
You wish you were here with us. We're having such a good time. This new Keto Go or whatever is coming. I don't know, BU's Instagram stories dropping all kinds of hints. Who's excited about fairy dust? Yes, we're doing so good. We can name our products anything, and you guys will drink it. But
it's sometimes it's the smallest thing. Like, remember, it's team building, right? And a great process of team building is to let people know that you appreciate them. I know that was a big thing that for me, that those things went a long way. Like people that I looked up to, people that I was mutually invested with, the fact that they take their time to send me a postcard or a gift or something, like just that thought alone, it really truly does go a long way. It means a lot. It's something that, is not common in the world out there today, right? And one of the things you realize here very quickly is that, success is not common. People go out of their way to create the success in the life that they want. And that means doing things different than everybody else. So, you have the power to do that. You have the power to appreciate people. You have the power to create more gratitude in your life. You have the power and the ability. Why? Because right now you have more influence than you think that you do. You create value with the influence that you have. You all have influence, every one of you. You all have influence. Now use it for good. Use that influence for good, whether it's just, like I said, recognizing somebody, lifting somebody up, appreciating somebody. That's all part of building a team. It truly is. So with that being said, that's your call to action. Your second call to action is to load up this Facebook Live on the Champion Success Profile Facebook page. So the Champion Success Profile Facebook page goes live in 9 minutes. I'm going to be on there with the incredible Sylvia Athy, who, you know, Sylvia is somebody still to this day. She holds the records for fast growth here at Pruvit. Somebody that very quickly took herself to a 6-figure-a-month income and has an absolutely massive, massive organization. Definitely so much that you can learn from her, so much that I think so many people can relate to her story with her background and the things that she went through. And, you know, I think a lot of you will identify certain situations in your life that she's been able to overcome. And use that. Like, you know, there are people out there that are watching, and really for her to, we're going to talk about the things that have made her successful. And a lot of it, it's not going to be what you think that it is. It's not, you know, how much BB she did, how much there's a lot more to it than that people can absolutely relate to. So, awesome. Well, you guys are amazing. And, we look forward to once again tomorrow. I know we tried to make it as most applicable time as possible. So I know it's a Friday. And if you're on the Pacific time, it's at 3 p.m. If you're on Eastern time, it's 6 p.m. So, and it's typically, we average about 20 minutes, right? We're literally, I think we're right at, what are we at? I'm going to just cut it off. 23, 3 minutes over. And that's because I was running my suck. So with that being said, tomorrow Sylvia is going to be doing the leadership training. So I definitely would encourage you to get people on with her. It's a great time. Hey, jump on and listen to her live tonight. Listen to her story. Even more reason to want to listen to her training tomorrow as she dives into, you know, to leadership. So with that, y'all are awesome. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the live here in a couple minutes.